No matter what kind of content you enjoy in Albion Online, whether it's ganking, transporting, roaming, or just gathering, you already probably seen it. A naked character standing still, often with zero fame, doing absolutely nothing, just staying there. And if you're new to the game, you already probably wondered, what exactly are they doing? Well, today we're going to talk about exactly what are they doing and how bad it is for the game. Now these characters are what we call scouts, and they might seem harmless at first, but they're actually a huge part of a growing problem in Albion open world content. Now in this video I'll break down exactly the different types of scouts, what their roles are, and why they're a huge issue to the health of the game. So what exactly is a scout? Well, a scout is typically an alt account, or a secondary account owned by a player, whose sole job is to sit in one specific spot and watch. Now they're not there to play the game in the usual way. They're not gathering, they're not fighting, they're not doing dungeons, they're just there, watching and waiting, and sharing information with the owner. Now let's break down exactly the 3 most common types of scouts that you'll see in Albion, and how each one impacts the game differently. So the first one, which I like to call Sentinels, are the most common type of scout that you will find in Albion. Now these ones are usually found in red zones, specifically in the areas around Carlion. Why? Because Carlion is the main city for selling to the black market, and that market tends to offer better prices than anywhere else. And that means a lot of players are willing to risk and transport their loot and crafted items into Carlion, using heavy mounts such as tier 8 oxes, elite winter bears, even mammoths. And these mounts that carry a lot of weight move extremely slow, and once dismounted they cannot move at all. And that's exactly what makes them perfect targets for gankers. So here's exactly what happens. A player will log on to an alt account and put it near a zone entrance and just let it sit there, watching who's coming and going. Now these players are sitting in Carlion, doing nothing besides looking at their phones. If they see someone zoning in this big mount or valuable gear, they'll ping their friends and tell them on Discord, T8 Ox just zoned into that vein. Then the gank group leaves Carlions and rushes to intercept them. They'll camp in the next zone entrance, and by the time the transporter comes through, it's already too late. They're already ready and prepared to chase him down. And because he's slowed, the gankers are often way faster using faster mounts such as wolves, swift claws, bats, so on and so forth. Now these scouts are always parked at choke points, and they normally use the entrances to the red zones from yellow zones, the roads that lead into Carlion, and even the underway. So the next time that you see a player on a tier 3 horse or an ox just chilling in one of these places, be very careful, as that's not a player, that's surveillance. Now the second type of scout is the defender, and this is slightly different than the previous one. Now these are not looking for transporters. They're actually watching for groups that are trying to intervene on their content, like world bosses and static dungeons. Now you'll often find these players, or these scouts, parked right into the dungeon entrances or in the entrances of high value objectives. Now their job is to warn the team if any enemy group is approaching. Now imagine you're a small group trying to kill a world boss. Now you've invested so much time and effort making sure that your weapon has mob fame and all of these attunements that are great for killing the world bosses and give you the best content possible. Now you don't want to be dived, so what do? You log into your phone, into an alt account, and you just sit it on top the entrance of the zone, making sure that if someone comes to gank you or to dive you, you'll spot them before they spot you, making sure that you can leave safely. Now this is incredible at cancelling content for solo and small groups of players who are trying to kill you. Now I'm by no means defending that you should die as a PvE player, but I'm saying that this is actually something that's cancelling a content which is diving, and that is not healthy for the game. The third type of scout is a Zerg scout. And these are probably the least common ones, and these are often used as drones or cameras for large alliances, and they pretty much report enemy movement, direction and numbers. They even see how much disarray each guild has, so they can tell exactly the shot caller how big the enemy Zerg really is. Now before a fight even starts, the leaders already know where to go, how many enemies there are, how to position, and all thanks to the scout of the network. Now this completely removes the element of surprise, which in Zergs often happens, and makes content for smaller alliances way harder than it should be. So, why exactly is this a problem? Well, on the surface, scouting might seem very clever, it's strategic and it provides information. But the issue is Albion is a sandbox and everything goes. But the reality is that scout removes the risk from both sides of the game. Now gankers know exactly when and where to strike, and transporters and Zergs know exactly how to avoid danger. And regular players who don't do any of this, well, they just get caught in the middle, and there's no fair way to respond. Now in a full loot PvP game, the thrill of the risk is everything. Every decision that you do should matter, and every zone you cross should carry uncertainty. But with scouts, that's gone. The hunted can hide, and the hunters don't even have to hunt anymore. It's all handled straight to them. So it's completely unfair for the average player. Now, is this allowed? Well, according to SBI's terms of service, using multiple accounts to scout, especially if it benefits your main, is a violation. Now, multi-boxing for scouting is against rules, and technically, the main account that benefits from the scout can be banned, not just the alt account. But in fact, SBI already stated that they're considering banning the entire group of players if one in the party gets caught. But that's a tricky solution, because imagine getting banned just because someone you were grouped with that you might not even know that well was using a scout on along. So there's always a little bit of collateral risk here. So what exactly can we do if we see scouts? Well, we can just report them by clicking their name, hitting report, and describing the situation. Now, it might not change the world overnight, but if enough people start flagging scouts, maybe the system will start to notice. Because if nothing changes, scouts will keep getting worse and worse. Now, this has already happened throughout many years and it hasn't stopped. And the more players that rely on scouts, the more the game will lose what makes it exciting, which is the unknown and the uncertainty. Now, Albion is a game about risk and rewards, but scouts, they destroy both. But that is all from me for today. Now if you ever lost a fight or a transport because of scouts, let me know in the comments. And maybe you use scouts yourselves. So what do you guys think? Is it smart or is it hurting the game? Anyways guys, that is all for me. Thank you so much for watching, and as usual, Nendys out.
Help me! Help me! Help me! Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
What the fuck is this?